came back at the end, there was 100 people in there. So they're so fake and just bandwagon and fair weather, and I just don't want to hear it from Georgia fans, dude. You guys are all fake. You're not fooling me. You're not gonna get to disappear when they suck, because half of these Typer trolls in the comment section will freaking disappear as soon as Georgia loses. But when they win, or when Georgia Tech loses, I have to freaking come on here and take it. That's not happening. That's ridiculous. So
Dude.
they can all freaking disappear. I mean, great for you. You freaking won by 1 point barely with some a major help from the refs. But I don't want to freaking hear it. You guys are so sorry. You're the sorriest fan base. If they were cheering for a team that didn't even make a bowl, they wouldn't be on the internet. They won't be on the internet. Let me tell you something. I've been around YouTube for I've been kind of in the community for 4 years, and I only started my channel at the end of the 2020 season. But I was been around. There was a lot less Georgia fans before they won the Natty. So I really, really don't want to hear it from them.
How many Georgia fans do you think could name 5 players on their team? Which I'm getting at, how many bandwagon fans do they have?
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah. It's so obvious what they're doing. So obvious. I can't think of a less deserving fan base. Sorry.
It's like the monarchy, like the monarchy. Like it's like their birthright, they believe, to win, and it's annoying.
Yeah, Sven Cruz back. Yeah, we're the real fans. Try getting on here when your team is. I mean, if you're a Georgia Tech fan and you get on and you go into any comment section, you get eviscerated with you just get trolled mercilessly. And none of these people, they have such thin skin. None of them can.
Yes, they do. Dude, there was a guy in your chat last night. Like, I know you can't look at your chat because you're watching the game. His name was something Little, and he said he was going to kick my ass. Which
what?
I don't know. I said, well, Little's in your name, so I don't know how big a boy you are. But
he was going to kick your ass.
Rec Talk will F around and find out. I ain't a little guy.
He's gonna kick your ass. That's funny. I've never had anybody tell me that.
I think I could handle my own.
Apparently, it happens all the time. That's funny. I didn't see that, or I would have probably.
He didn't say that exactly, but he said something like, "Come over and find out how little I am," which I think his girlfriend already did. But anyway, moving on.
Damn, that was pretty funny. That's pretty funny. I didn't see that happening, or I probably would have got rid of him. But...
Oh, he was just spamming UGA, which is probably the only 3 letters of the alphabet he does know. So.
Oh, is it that guy? Yeah, I actually did I timed out a couple people. I need to get a mod on my channel because I had a few of them. Well, I probably had too many, but then I went through my blocked list one day, and there was a bunch of people on there that I had not blocked.
And they were just going rogue. They went rogue one.
So I took and I didn't go willy nilly. Like I
think we're on the same page. Like as far as banning someone, it would take a lot for me.
I don't have anybody banned. Anybody. Yeah. And there's some people who have left some awful comments on my channel.
I've seen them.
And it's not. Yeah. I mean, dude, you should see some of the ones that don't make it through because YouTube automatically filters out. I just get some of the worst comments ever. It's terrible. No, nerd, stop. That is Spelunky in the background.
See that?
Yeah, it's in the corner of the screen. Somebody asked if it was Metroid.
Isn't that a video game about digging holes?
Metroid?
No, it's not about digging holes. It's okay.
Yeah,
they thought it was Metroid. It's about.
It's just a platformer.
It's a platformer, but it's one of the hardest games of all time. So.
Is it harder than Dark Souls and Bloodborne?
Is it harder than Dark Souls and Bloodborne?
I'd say so.
Yeah.
Jeez.
I've watched them play it. It's pretty brutal. You can die at any time on over nothing. I've watched them play it.
I do not recommend this game.
I'm downloading it right now. So
he doesn't recommend it. He says it will suck the soul out of your body.
Also, real quick, shout out to NerdStop. He is the only mod I have, and I appreciate it.
I'll make you a mod on my channel. How about that? I trust you.
Sweet.
I'll do that for you. I'll do that. And if you see somebody threatening to kick your ass, you can feel free to time them out or hide them or whatever you need to do.
I would only time him out
Time him out, yeah.
if he's spamming.
If they, the spamming is,
It's just
But
annoying.
if they, but if they take it too far, you can hide them. But there's people that didn't do anything that were getting hidden on my channel that I don't know. The person might not have liked them or something. I don't know.
Yeah, that's no good. Well, okay, Sea-Dog, what do you want to get into? So, there's a bunch that's happened since we hadn't talked, like Nate McCullum transferring to UNC. I know we've both made videos on that, but I don't think we talked about it on a live show.
Well, obviously the big talk around college football is the playoffs and everything. So kind of on that note,
Welcome.
I wanted to touch on this freaking Buster Faulkner situation and how upsetting it is that he's actually
The only reason they won last night? Yeah.
Yeah, it is upsetting how where do your allegiances lie? Like, come on, man. We're going to hire this guy and let him run back to his old team. Like, he is the Georgia Tech offensive coordinator. And it's not like...
I don't understand. The big problem is, like, there's no transparency as far as what's going on. So I don't know why he's over there. It's just like, as far as we know, it was up to Key, right? And I guess Key said it was okay.
Well, the thing is, Key and Kirby Smart have a mutual respect for each other, which is not good for the fans because we obviously have no respect for Georgia.
No.
Or at least I don't. So I'd be like, hell no, he's mine now. But this is exactly what I said when we hired him. We see where his allegiances lie. He's got an offensive coordinator position, and yet he's taking his time away from that to do an analyst job or whatever it is he's doing with them, helping prepare for the playoff games. It's just ridiculous, man. And I'm like, I mean, we clearly see where his allegiances lie. I'm just not happy about the situation. He's clearly going to just leave as soon as the Georgia OC job becomes open. He's just going to leave. I mean, I get it. You got to finish out your job, but I mean, the fact that it's an in-state rival and like we got recruiting to do, we got jobs to do, and it's like,
I don't know that it's a foregone conclusion that he's necessarily going to Georgia, and I don't know how long Todd Monken is going to be there, but I guess there is I think he might be there a lot longer than most people. I mean, was this something Bryce brought up? Like, he's the highest paid coordinator in college football.
Monken, yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
you're right. But if Monken were to leave, Buster Faulkner is splitting a hair, especially if he was doing a good job at Tech. Especially if he managed to turn around and he made a name for himself, he would be gone. Which just, I mean, it's like it is.
Where is Buster from? I'm sure he's from the Southeast. I don't know.
I don't know, but I know he coached at Middle Tennessee State and
Arkansas State, Middle Tennessee State.
So he had a couple G5 stops before Georgia, but that whole situation has got me. So I'm going to be watching Buster Faulkner this year. I'm going to be watching him. I'm going to have him under a microscope because, under a microscope, buddy.
But what?
You're going to pull that crap on us? Come on.
What advantage would it give us? I mean, who knows the Georgia offense and the Georgia schemes better than Buster Faulkner, and we're going to have him on our staff. I do think that's going to be a big advantage for us when we play them.
It is nice. It's just the whole situation, obviously, if Bryce Kuhn were here, he would say, well, they don't, coaches and them don't take rivalries as seriously. Well, we freaking do. So,
well, I don't know that that's not true. They don't take it as seriously as the fans, but coaches get fired on rivalries. Chan Gailey got fired because he couldn't beat Georgia.
The school takes it seriously, but the coaches themselves, they they don't. So, I mean, it's not like. I mean, there are some cases like.
Well, Key might be an exception.
Some really did hate. Well, if Key was the exception, then I don't see why on earth he wouldn't.
That's true.
Tell Buster Faulkner, hell no, you're ROC or you're their analyst. You pick.
Yeah.
You can't both. That's what it is. So.
That's an interesting question too. Is he getting paid by both schools right now?
I don't know, man.
I don't. How does that
weird,
work?
It's a weird situation. It's a weird situation.
Let's go rescue him. Where are they playing next? They're in Los Angeles, right?
Yeah.
That's a city I would never go to. Never
Speaking
mind.
of which, you want to see something?
Yeah, I do. Yeah.
Check this out.
Oh,
Yeah, Horned Frogs, baby.
horny
Yeah,
frogs.
Hey, that's quick right there.
I tell you though, I also think that TCU has a shot.
Oh,
in this
nobody's
year.
giving them a chance.
Well,
Nobody.
I'll be that idiot. I mean,
Nobody.
how good was Michigan's defense supposed to be after what they did to Ohio State?
Yeah.
And they punched Michigan in the mouth.
Yeah.
They're still scoring on Michigan.
Nobody's giving them a chance. They've already talked about they won the Natty. I had to remind them. I'm like, y'all haven't won the Natty yet. You won a playoff game. There's a big difference.
Oh,
And,
if they lost to TCU, dude,
Oh my god.
I'll get a horny frog tattooed on my butt. I'm saying it right now.
I will too, man. I sure will. I'll be the horniest freaking dude you ever seen.
And give my life to Christ live on
So-
stream.
That's right. So TCU, you've got my sword and my axe or whatever, however it goes. That'll be
That's a
definitely
good
coming for me here.
point in the comments, though. No one's given TCU a chance all year. I mean, let's see what they can do.
Yeah. I mean, people have just act like it's a foregone conclusion, like TCU's done for. But after yesterday's games, I mean,
Do they have
It's
any
clear that-
opt outs? I don't think they do. Do they have any opt
hell
outs?
no, they don't have any opt outs. They said 90% of those players on TCU haven't even played in a bowl game before, let alone the national championship. So, yeah, and there's no opt outs. Man, that was an awesome game between them and Michigan too. I know this is a Georgia Tech show, but as far as for me, hating Georgia Tech or hating Georgia goes in hand with loving Georgia Tech. So that is kind of how
Yes.
I roll. So I just thought I'd give my horny freaking frogs a shout out there. But what were we talking about?
no, whatever you want. So, yeah, the playoffs. I mean, a ton of great games in the past 3 or 4 days.
Oh man, bowl season has been great. It started out horrible. All those group of 5 teams playing each other. It was so
Well,
boring.
and SEC teams.
Yeah, and yeah, they were just started out really, really bad. But there were some really good bowl games, like the Florida State versus Oklahoma,
Yep.
which I thought that they would handle them no problem. I mean, they beat them, but I don't know. That was a bad Oklahoma team, so I'm not really sure what was going on there.
Well, I think Oklahoma had a lot to play for because, I mean, if they win that bowl, it kind of vindicates some issues they had this season. Probably helps
Yeah.
them in recruiting, rolling into
Yeah.
next year.
I mean, they did hang in there with Florida State, which is probably,
Very good
I
team.
wonder what Florida State will finish in the rankings this year.
Well, they were 13th, right?
So they'll probably be. I wonder if
10?
they'll be top 10. I don't know. After that performance, I don't know, but we'll see. But and North Carolina freaking lose, and Nate McCullum is going there, and I'm pretty.
Did we
salty
break
about
North
that.
Carolina?
Yes,
Because
What?
they had one loss to Notre Dame before they played us, and they haven't won since they lost to us. Like,
So they lost Georgia Tech, NC State, Clemson, and
Oregon.
now Oregon. So they were the first team in history to go 9-5 or whatever and lose
Oh, 9-1.
however many games in a row. They broke some kind of record.
Jeez.
Just with how there's collapse at the end of the.
So I
Jeez.
think that's a good thing to talk to because North Carolina is this kind of interesting area where really good athletes go to not end up winning a lot of games Like they had Sam Howell last year. Like they're a very talented team, and they almost always underperform their talent by a large margin.
Yeah, they had Sam Howell, and then they bring in the 5-star hotshot Drake May, and
Who's even better, way better.
Yeah, yeah. And then they go, they have this collapse towards the end of the season, and it's not like they were playing scrubs. I mean, well, you can say what you want about Georgia Tech, but.
Well, if we're scrubs, they got beat by scrubs. So
I don't care what anybody says. We had a good team this past year. We got a couple. Brent Key, forward, was a good team.
Yes,
and we had key injuries. I mean, we have quarterback injuries. That it is what it is. But we did have a good team and that played good football, like against Duke. I mean, Duke pulled that off against UCF too.
Oh,
and
yeah,
dude, we beat them. That's a 9-something Duke team that we beat.
Look at the teams we beat. Duke, 9-win team. Pitt, 9-win team, I believe, right?
Pitt, who also won their bowl game against UCLA.
Beat North Carolina, who had their collapse, but it's a good team. And then who else we beat?
Pitt, Duke, North Carolina.
We beat the best teams on our side.
Yeah, and then we lost to the worst, which sucks. But
well,
it is what it is. Our quarterback got hurt in both those games. I'm not referring to any Jeff Collins era games. I'm referring to Brent Key. But in the 2 games we did lose, we had Brent Key, or we had our starting quarterback go down.
And then our backup.
That's a tough break. But the fact he was managed to salvage that. We had a good team this past year. I mean, we're always going to look at what could have been, but I'm hopeful for the future going forward. That's for sure.
What Key did from taking over to now is phenomenal. I mean, I don't think it can be understated. And we're losing probably our 2 best players in Ely and Thomas, and then we end up filling it with 2 very good linebackers out of the portal. Was it Andre White and Braylon Oliver? Mm-hmm. Then we get King in. I mean, there's a lot of things to be excited about right now.
And the safety duo, Clayton Powell-Lee
and Brooks,
Miles Brooks. Yeah, that's going to be
Clayton Powell-Lee is a
young
baller.
Young vet, they call him.
Young vet from Westlake.
Yes, and they're completely bought in to Coach Key, and they believe in him. That a lot. There was talk about them transferring. But hell no, they both came on Twitter and they were like, no, man, we're going to be the duo. We're going to be the duo. So
I like it.
For sure. Yeah, we I think we're definitely trending upwards. But yeah, that Nate McCullum to UNC, man.
So that had to be 100% an NIL thing.
Yeah.
But it is weird that he was like all about Key. We named Key the head coach, and he transfers. It's like, well, why even say that if you're not invested in the result of it?
Yeah, I know. I don't know.
Players, man. And did you see Jeff Sims on Twitter? He retweeted McCullum transferring to UNC on Twitter, and then it had like an exhaust emoji, which I guess is like, oh, thank God. Which that kind of didn't set well with me either.
Exhaust emoji?
Yeah.
I didn't see that, but
yeah,
I don't know. That could mean anything. I really don't know.
Well, I'm old, so I had to Google it. I'm like, what does this mean?
Yeah.
And I don't know. But
is it like the guy who's like blowing? He's like, whoo.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. Which to me is like relief, right? Like, thank God he doesn't play there anymore.
I don't know. I don't think Jeff would do that. I don't know. He, sometimes I feel like that emoji could also be used like, ooh, this guy's good as hell. I don't know.
I think you need to be a spin doctor, man, for like a politician. Like, this is what it really means. This is what he said. This is what he meant.
Yeah, I don't know. It's just hard.
I could be reading into something, but yeah.
I'm not sure. But Yeah, I don't know. It just sucks. I mean, there was no reason for him to transfer to UNC. Freaking Luke Walker, the UNC fan, was telling him because he wanted to play for a good quarterback, and he is, a huge Haynes King hater for some reason.
Why?
Um,
Well, that tells me that people probably are afraid he's going to be really good at Tech.
Yeah.
Otherwise, why would you care?
Yeah.
Do I
If
care
you're
about the
that-
quarterback for Vandy? No, I don't.
Well, he might be mad. I can understand why a UNC fan would be mad and wanting to disparage Georgia Tech, because we actually managed to beat them with a third and fourth string quarterback. So it doesn't really matter who we have behind the center.
If we can
at
do
all.
what we did to y'all with a third and fourth string
Tech,
quarterback, let us get a 4-star in there that can play.
Yeah. And if not, if Haynes King really does suck, it'll be Zach Byron. He won't. Haynes King won't play. And Brent Key told him, he's saying, "I'm not guaranteeing you anything. You're gonna have to earn the starter job." So I respect
Yeah.
that hugely. Finally, a quarterback competition on the flats. That's what I'm talking about.
It's weird to me that even has to be said. Like,
Yeah.
that you have to say, like, hey, you're not just going to come in here and do whatever you want to do and play whenever you want to play.
Well,
Like,
a lot of the, in college, when you're recruiting and everything, if you're a crappy team, kind of the draw of it is, well, you can come here and play now as opposed to, being on a second or third string on Alabama or whatever,
right.
So there's that. But yeah, that would be, yeah, you're right, though. It should go without saying.
Yeah.
But who knows how Byron's injury is going to look next year? So I don't know. I still wonder if we add another quarterback because now we have 3. But I don't know.
I imagine maybe you can get a preferred walk on or something
Yeah.
in the off period.
A freshman would be nice.
Yeah.
A freshman would be nice, but I don't think that's going to happen. I'm not sure. I wonder. I think if it does happen, we'll be looking around springtime. Because that's when Pumachan transferred here, isn't it? Was springtime this past year? So
Has he found a
last
landing
year.
spot? I don't think
No,
so.
I haven't heard. Happy New Year, by the way.
Oh yeah, Happy New Year, everyone.
I didn't even know. I didn't even realize it was New Year's Eve last night, and I was watching the game, and I freaking didn't even realize it was today either. I don't know.
It almost timed perfectly with Georgia winning, which is kind of disgusting.
So I have a question. We haven't done anything since Christmas. Is that right? We haven't done anything since before Christmas,
I don't think so.
right? So I wanted to ask, did you get any Georgia Tech stuff for Christmas?
I did not. I mean, not other than I bought myself.
Really?
Yeah,
Got
I mean,
yourself some swag.
yeah, I think. What did I get? I got some like ornaments.
Oh yeah.
For my tree. That's about it. But I mainly did stuff for my kid. What about you?
Oh, I got a ton of stuff. I got a couple jackets. I got the Coach hoodie.
Nice.
My grandmother bought it for me. Yeah, got me the Coach hoodie, which I already have the one that I did myself. But I cut the sleeves too high, and it looks like Bill Belichick instead. So I'm glad that I have the
Roll
Coach
around.
hoodie now. It's so thin. Yeah,
Dude, it is really thin. I mean, it's like a thin T-shirt
it's like a t-shirt. It's like a t-shirt. Yeah.
with a hood.
I like it though. But yeah, it was a great present. I love it. It's super comfortable, at least still.
It
But
is.
no sponsorship yet, but we'll get there one day.
Dude, I'm telling you, like I said, I'll say anything for money. I don't care.
Yeah. You get ourselves some sponsorship here, but so we're gonna move on. So, have you ever looked at any of Home Field stuff? They have good stuff too.
I've only looked at like ACC store and 103.
Home Field apparel has. I'm gonna pull it up. I can actually share. I can share the screen with you. I got this really cool, like old. They have like old school, like stuff. They have like the old logo. Here, I'm gonna
Oh,
share
nice.
I'm gonna share the screen with you here.
Sweet.
Can I do that? Present. Share screen. Can you see it?
Oh yeah, hold on. It's gonna
Yeah.
mess up my.
Oh, is it? Well, you can take me out, and I'll just.
No, it's cool. We'll just roll like that. They can see it. Yeah.
Okay.
So they've got some of the.
So they got this. I have the Give 'em Hell Tech shirt. How cool is that?
Oh,
Got the old
dude,
school like Buzzy guy on there.
the old school tee.
Yeah,
North Ave
It's got
trade.
the old school like stupid looking yellow jacket, but
Yeah.
got George P. Burdell, North Avenue Trade School.
I love it.
I love it. The golden, they even have the Golden Tornadoes. That's like
That's super
like
OG.
old school, yeah. So love it.
Nice.
Yeah, no sponsorship from them either.
But hey, they need to do it. We will say whatever you want. Like, hey, if you wear this shirt, you'll have like the hottest woman ever want to date you. Whatever, I'll say it. And also, if you guys in the chat don't know about George P. Burdell, George P. Burdell is like this mythical student that has every degree that Tech has ever offered, and he has like a 5.0, which isn't.
He
even
never
possible.
existed. He was like, it originally started as they enrolled him as a prank, and then did like his homework and stuff.
Yeah.
And he got a degree from the school, but never existing. So it's pretty funny.
Yeah, so when you're a student there, like every time you need like a template for something or your teacher provides you a template, it's usually got, if it needs name and stuff, it'll have his name. And
George P. Burdell. Pretty funny.
And there's a store in the student union called Burdell's.
Yeah, that's pretty funny.
Can you put the website in the chat that you just said?
Yeah, I see somebody asking for it there. No sponsorship here, but I got that Give 'em Hell Tech shirt. The only thing about it is I got it and it's like really, it's kind of like faded and hard to see. But it looks a lot more like brilliant on the screen, I guess, but you can't in person. It's a lot more faded, so just be warned. I wear it sometimes, but I don't know.
John Withers is saying, what's with the sunglasses? It's because I'm an awesome person, sir. This is what awesome people do.
It's because my future is so bright.
Yeah. My future's so bright, I don't want to be blinded by it and trip. Probably like most Georgia fans do over their own feet.
For sure.
Which he is. And he's giving me hell.
He?
He's giving me hell in the comments. Like, I think he said, he was the guy who said, you just don't know, do you? And I'm like, sir, I have no clue what you're talking about. I don't exist in your head. You're going to have to elaborate.
Yeah. This guy told y'all Jeff Sims is not good for the team. He's a bad teammate, and his real feelings came out. I don't know. I feel like we can't draw conclusions based on one emoji. I don't know. Look, it is what it is. If he doesn't want to be here, he needs to leave. I mean, that's the bottom line. But I thought he was a good quarterback. I just thought he was rusty. And I thought Winky had really brought out some of the potential that we knew was there. And we had started to see it before he got hurt. And you know what? That he left, that's fine. I don't see any reason he can't do that for Haynes King.
Yeah, I don't think Sims was a bad teammate. And look, I will pay a emoji auditor and get to the bottom of that though. For the next show.
We need to have a Zoomer look into it. I'll ask my brother. He's 17. He probably would know.
What does this mean?
I'll ask him. What is the meaning of this?
It's just a monkey and a smiley face.
You know, my brother goes to high school with two of our recruits. Isn't that cool?
Was he the kid on stream last night?
That was my brother with me. Yeah.
He goes to Norcobb.
No, I went to North Cobb. He goes to Hillgrove. But he knows Ezra Odenjar.
Oh, wow.
He plays Elden Ring with him, and he's like has a Snapchat. He's cool with him and stuff. And Benjamin Galloway, the OT.
That's awesome.
Yeah. So how cool is that my freaking brother knows a couple of our recruits?
That should be our recruiting gate. Like, can you beat the final boss of Elden Ring? Because that ain't easy.
The wasn't even the hardest. It was freaking Melania.
Oh,
what I'm
she's
talking
not the
about?
final. Yeah, I haven't played through the whole thing, but I watched people try and beat Melania, and like their health bars are like huge,
Mhm.
and she does one hit, and it's like 75% of that.
Yeah, and whenever she heals you, whenever she hits you, she heals herself. It's unbelievable. And even if you
Jesus.
block it, it heals her. It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous.
All right, I gotta get back into Elden.
She's not the final boss, but she's the hardest boss in the game. That's for sure.
Dang.
But yeah, he's passed the nerd test, and he got in there, and my brother says he's a beast. So
Oh, you murked her. Okay.
pretty stoked on that. Not at Elden Ring. I was talking about football. But
Sorry, my focus is split. I can't do it.
Elden Ring's important too, but I was talking about football. I can't wait. I can't wait till we're good because I'm gonna lean into the nerd thing. Like, yeah, we'll freaking beat you in Pokemon and football.
Hey, yeah.
We'll beat you in both.
Any card game, Magic, Yu-Gi-Oh,
Oh, yeah.
Pokemon,
Yeah, you're done. Yu-Gi-Oh, yeah, you're done for.
Black Lotus card coming out.
And then and then you'll get blown out on the field too.
Oh, dude,
So
that would have to feel rough.
those will be the days. Those will be the days whenever Georgia Tech's really good again. I've got a list of all the Georgia fans that terrorized me.
How long is that list? I would think it's fairly lengthy.
It is. It sure is.
Oh, John Withers are correcting my English, I guess.
Yeah, I don't know. You say I don't know instead of you know. What do you mean? What does it mean?
He's really good at just saying things that don't make any sense to anyone but him.
He says, listen to the tape of your show. It's full of I don't know. Who are you talking to? Are you talking to is he talking to me or you?
Probably me. That's fine. I'm okay with saying I don't know, sir.
say, I don't-
Unlike Georgia fans who seem to know everything about everything, even though they don't.
I know there's a lot of things I don't know. I come on here, I'm like, man, I don't know. I don't
Yeah.
know.
I don't know how anyone
I feel
can
like
root
he's
for
probably
Georgia.
talking to me. I say that a lot, probably. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know is fine. It's a fine thing to say.
I I probably do say that. Sorry. Like rolls off the tongue.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it's true too. But
I'll toast you in Gen 4 Pokemon. Probably.
probably.
Because I'm 32, so I don't know anything past the Gen 1.
Yeah.
Well, all right. What else we need to get into? So we talked about bowls, talked about the garbage school in Athens.
Yeah, we're getting into the top, it's going to be pretty slow probably here. We should probably do something because we're going to be doing this every other week, right? Like an hour or so.
Yeah.
We could do stuff talking about, some of the games from this past year. We could kind of go through the year because it was an absolute roller coaster of a year.
Okay, so
And I know that you started like halfway through, so you
right.
So you probably you had
after Central Florida, but so we can start at the beginning. So I did go to the Clemson game. I was at Mercedes-Benz. Yeah, and oh my goodness, it was another like okay, it's going to be different this time. It's going to be different.
Did you really think going into this year that we were going to be
okay? But I didn't. But like I still was at the game, so like it's kind of hard.
And you take the time to go, and you see the atmosphere. I understand exactly what you mean. You're like, how can we lose? We're freaking. It's game day.
Plus, DJ Uiagalelei was struggling. Our defense was looking really good, and then we got to halftime. And I was like, Dad, what the F is this? What is like right before half? Like
when the timeout thing?
Yeah. Well, the timeout.
Dabo was laughing at him. Yeah.
Yeah, and then he was like irritated. Like my thing is he took a timeout and then ran the clock out, which I will never understand why. You usually do one or the other. And then they end up just pulling away. So then I'm like, okay, well, Clemson's really good. They're a lot more talented than we are. We played fairly well. What was the next game we played? Ole Miss?
It would be Western Carolina.
That was the first home game I missed in like 10 years.
Yeah.
Because I was like, I don't want to commit 6 hours to my life, and I know what this is going to be.
Right.
And it was exactly, we were who we thought we were. Like we won, but it was like, what? Like this is the ugliest win.
We were down like 14-0 at one point, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, and it was the same old, just like dumb penalties, turnovers, like weird play
I think Jeff
calling.
Sims threw a pick or two. Remember the freaking very first play of the season? Do you remember it?
Yeah. Oh, so let me talk about that. And this is the tell of a quarterback that's having a lot of issue, is you can tell with Jeff Sims before he even snaps the ball, he looks at the defense and he goes, I'm throwing it down the post no matter what happens.
Mm-hmm.
And he was double covered and it was a pick. And it didn't really resolve itself even after Key took over, but that was a big problem I saw with Sims, was he was just committed to go into a certain place with the ball.
He didn't do his reads. Yeah. So see, that was one thing. And then I noticed he did have trouble with his reads. That was one thing he needed to work on. But then I would notice, like in the North Carolina game last year, he made like the most amazing reads you could. Like he knew exactly when to keep it and run for himself, and he would take off for freaking 30 yards. And I'm like,
well, in the North Carolina game, he ran for like 200 yards.
Yes, and he would read them perfectly every time. Something about North Carolina's scheme we have down to a T. Because Jeff Sims was able to just, if Jeff Sims can read their D, I don't know.
Then a Georgia fan can read a book.
Yeah. So for whatever reason, we had their number. And, probably the only reason we didn't blow them out this year was because we didn't have Jeff Sims or a quarterback at all.
Which that's another thing, is that's kind of the similar thing I saw with Gibson, which tells me kind of what the problem might have been. Maybe with Long being too involved and possibly Collins, is the difference with Gibson is he wouldn't usually throw it. I mean, he did throw some picks, but he would just hold on to it because the place he wanted, his read one was not there, and take a sack. So there was something wrong with the coaching for a while.
Yeah, they called him Sack Gibson.
Dude, I might be more mobile than him, by the way. I don't know.
Yeah, Zach Gibson, I don't think that we're getting into this. We really should make this into like a series, like go through the.
That's true. Go
through the year. I wanted to talk about going into the season. How did you? So going into the season, you didn't think, because for me personally, I wasn't even looking forward to the season at all. And the off season for that reason flew by. Like this off season now, this upcoming off season is about to go by slow as hell because I'm looking forward to next year.
Yeah. So my dad is a truck driver. He drives to Nashville and back every night. So usually, like leading up to the season, I call him probably every other night. We'll talk for an hour about Georgia Tech football. We go to the games together, and we talk about the expectations. And I was like, man. Both of us were like, I have zero expectations for this season. None. The only expectation is, or the only question is, how many games will it take for them to fire Collins? That was the only thing there was to talk about.
No, I didn't know, because I thought I didn't think that there was any scenario in which we fire Jeff Collins before his contract buyout lowered, and which is good, right? Because I had no faith in the school to care about football enough to fire him. And turns out they do. They care more than I thought, at least. So that's a good sign, right?
Yeah. Honestly, my thought was he has to go like 0-4, 0-5.
Right.
And they will fire him. But I thought shy of that, they probably won't. So I was surprised as well.
Now, my worry would have been my worry going into the season. Well, I did think I was going to have to sit through an entire season of Jeff Collins. Obviously, nobody saw the Brent Key thing coming. But my worry going into the season was, oh shit, what if Jeff Collins makes a bowl somehow? Because look,
He'd get an
last
extension.
last year, you remember it was Virginia Tech, for example. Last year, it was Fuentes last year, and they made a bowl by somehow, and they had no business being in a bowl and got blown out like 63 to something by Maryland. And I could have just pictured that, especially in a weak ACC. And coming into the year, we had it was, what was it, four head coaches in the Coastal Division that were
New.
first year head coaches.
Yeah.
You had the two Virginias, Duke and Miami. And so I thought, they're looking at our schedule, I was like, Jeff Collins could back his way into a bowl and like lose and keep his job. And that was the nightmare scenario for me. Turns out he's so bad he couldn't even do that.
Well, think about how bad that is. That means that the year before, when he went 3-9, you had 4 coaches that got fired.
Yep.
They were because they're so bad.
Yep, you're right. Well, Bronco Mendenhall stepped down, but yeah.
Or mutually, like, and the same with Cutcliffe, right? Like, he kind of mutually parted ways.
Well, Cutcliffe, no, they pretty much fired him because he, I mean, it was time. I think they probably had him retire to like save face, to be respectful. But yeah,
they strongly suggested he left.
Right. And then Bronco Mendenhall took time. He wanted to spend more time with his family, so he just stopped coaching. But he wasn't doing so hot either.
No.
But yeah, you're right. So, and the roster we had last year, we should have made a bowl, no doubt.
Yeah,
we probably would have been able to keep Gibbs. I mean, that's all. But
weren't to be.
It wasn't. And
but
so
I think all of that, like, I'm not heartbroken, really, right? Because all that led us to where we are with Key now, and I am very happy with where we are with Key.
Yeah, no, I do get sad a little bit thinking about what could have been because at one time we were looking at offense with Jeff Sims and Jahmyr Gibbs in the backfield, and dude, I was unbelievably hyped, but it just
and Smith. I mean, Smith's
Jeff Collins just blew it. So,
well, I mean,
hopefully, I don't know. I mean, hopefully, this Norval McKenzie hire. I mean, I like it. I would really like to get Coach Choice back though, because he's one of the best running backs coaches in the country, and he's a Tech man. So I don't know. I just really hope. I don't know if we have to give him a promotion.
Absolutely, I think we have to give him a promotion. And what he's going to want.
I mean, you look at it this way. Buster Faulkner leaves. Make him co-OC with Winky. I'd be okay with that.
Yeah.
That's if Buster Faulkner leaves. I don't know. But I don't know. But
I hope not. I mean, I honestly, I hope we can have Buster for at least 3 years and really get some things rolling. But the other thing is, if he leaves, that means our offense was doing pretty well. So there would be that caveat to it.
Yeah. But I do like where the staff's at. But we're kind of all over the place. But I guess that's just how it is in the off season.
Yeah. I mean,
we're in the off season. We've been in the off season for. I mean, if you want to count, there's a bunch of news with signing day and stuff. But
well, we did a show on signing day with Bryce though.
Triple option. That's right.
I even made an intro video for that. We'll have to see it next time the triple option's together. But
oh, you did?
Yeah, it's got like the 3 of us in the triple option doing the
really?
Yeah.
That is awesome.
Yeah, I'll show it to you. I'll send it to you.
Yeah, so I gotta see that. Who's the quarterback? You're the quarterback, aren't you?
No. I think Bryce is. No, you're the quarterback. You're the quarterback.
I'm the quarterback.
Bryce is the A back, and I'm the B back.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
I thought you'd be the quarterback because you play quarterback.
Well, I thought that would be too vain of me. I thought about this like for an hour straight. I was getting our roster set like on NCAA.
Hey, it makes more sense to me. I mean, you didn't want to play quarterback. I play center. It is what it is.
I found some tape from back in the day. I might do something with that too.
I have a video. I have a couple videos I'm sitting on. Not of me playing football. But
We
I have
don't
a
have
clip
any.
of our what?
We don't have any pancake blocks from Sea Dog.
I don't think. No, I don't think I have any video. I don't think any video exists of me playing football ever.
All right.
None of my parents took any, I guess.
Jeez, dude, you need to talk
I
to your
don't know.
parents about
I have
that.
a couple funny stories though.
All right.
I used to have my friends bring me to like hamburgers, and I'd like put them down in my pants, and like I'd be like on the sidelines, and I'd be like,
You had Asperger's?
pull yeah, yeah. I would put the hamburger, and then I'd be like, and I'd nibble on the hamburger, and they'd be like, Sea Dog, get in there, and I'm like, whoa.
Wait, so you'd go in with burgers in your pants?
I did go in with burgers in my pants once, yeah.
What if you got pancake? Then you got smushed burgers.
Oh, you think Sea Dog would get pancake? Come on.
No, you're right. That is a genius. Like, you're not going to get put on your back. The burgers will be fine.
I'm gonna stand over him after pancake and take a big freaking bite.
Dude, just drop one for him. Be like, dude, you need it. You need to buff up a little bit.
Hey man.
Is that true, dude? That is absolutely insane.
Yes, I would. Yes, I have my friends bring me a hamburger. Cause, dude, you're like
You
standing
eat
there
before
and
the game, dude.
you can smell the concessions are right there. You know.
Yeah, but
Like,
you have
man,
a team meal before the game usually,
Yeah,
right?
but I mean, dude, those burgers are good.
So
I
what
was
did
a
they bring
lineman,
you?
Man. I was a lineman.
Was it McDonald's? Was it Burger
Yeah,
King?
sometimes they give us McDonald's. Sometimes they give us Chick-fil-A. Sometimes they cook a meal or have it catered or whatever. But yeah, dude, I get out there smelling that concession stands. Dude, them burgers are good, man. So I'd be like, dude, go give me a burger. Here's some money.
Dude, we had water girls that were horrible and that wouldn't bring us water. So I'd be thirsting
really?
to death. I'd be like, where the heck are they? And then I have to run even farther trying to find out where they are. Not good.
Yeah. That's brutal.
I also tore my right rotator cuff when I was on scout team, and they made me throw with my left hand. That's before they knew.
Oh no.
That's before they knew injuries were bad for you. I also had several concussions, which is why I sound, look, and talk the way I do.
Oh really? Damn.
Yeah.
Damn.
Against Oconee was one of them. I went to the wrong sideline one time.
I've had my freaking. I still have shoulder issues. Like I can't throw. I can't reach back past like that without it feeling like my shoulder's gonna fall off.
Seems like a problem.
Yeah, I don't know. I should probably get it checked out, but it's. I've been out of high school for.
And you're right-handed, right? So.
Yeah, but I do construction, so I lift and stuff with it. But I don't know. I don't know. I can't like throwing a football. Like I can't do it. We were playing the Slob softball game, and I just couldn't. I just couldn't do it. Which, by the way, we're drafting you for freaking Slob softball next year.
Yes, dude. I want to do a montage video with you.
You will make a fine addition to Team Fools.
Dude, I'm an athlete.
Yeah, you don't want to go on Team Raj. It's full of Georgia fans.
They would just bench me probably and tell me to keep score because they can't.
So, yeah, it was so much fun, but I couldn't throw, dude. I couldn't I gotta work on I gotta do it like that.
Like a frisbee forehand?
Yeah, or just throwing it all here. Because I can whip that pretty good. I just can't go hoorah. So if I was in the outfield, I wouldn't be able to throw it very well. I need to kind of play. I was playing third base, and I can field them.
Which is the strongest armed infielder.
Yeah, I can field them pretty well, and I wasn't letting them get past me. But eventually, I had Tiger Baskins. He's playing shortstop, and I was like, dude. He was like, man, just toss it to me. So I would freaking catch it, and I would toss it to him, and he plays like baseball professionally. He freaking rockets it to first, and we got Uncle Lou out. It was the highlight of the day.
Is Uncle Lou fast?
Oh hell no, he's got 2 broke legs.
All right, good.
So he got in a car crash or something. He can hardly run. But
Oh well, I feel like
he
an
hit me
a-hole
in
now.
ground ball and I got it. And there was no way I could throw it to third or first, just with my shoulder.
You might could have rolled it there and beat him.
And yeah, and so I zip it to frickin' Tiger Baskins and he throws a rocket. I mean he gets the full one. I was like, "Pew," and gets him out. It was the best part of the day for sure.
Dude,
But,
can we set up a training regiment? Maybe McKeetrick's
yeah,
not far.
you can do it too, and I can practice my throw. I don't want to lose my position on third base.
I want to play center.
Me and TB were a good duo, but I might lose my position if I can't get my throwing down.
All right, we'll work on it.
So, actually, Millis Vanillis has disappeared. Who played catcher? So
He
might need a new
disappeared.
catcher. Yeah, you know who Millis Vanillis is?
No, it sounds like Millie
We're
Vanilli.
getting way off topic from tech
sorry.
football here. Sorry, but
Slob Olympics are important though. March
Slob
3rd to the
Olympics are
5th.
very important, and we need more Georgia Tech representation. Okay,
You're the
So
only
for those
one,
of
right?
you for those of you that have no clue what we're talking about, it is the college football YouTube community. We get together for 2 events a year. One is the Slob Olympics, which we compete in a bunch of insane events, such as the 40-yard dash, push-ups, rock, paper, scissors, stuff like that. And the second is the Slob softball game, which is what we've been talking about. And Millis Vanillis, who was our catcher, has disappeared. And his channel, he's an Alabama fan, and I freaking love Millis, but he's gone now. I don't know what happened to him. Nobody knows what happened to him. He won't answer his phone. And
Jeez.
his channel name was changed to Millis Vanillis is dead, gone forever. So
That's ominous.
he had I don't think he's actually dead. I think it's just his I think that just means because he said he's had before said he can't take the trolling, because he would get trolled a lot.
Yeah.
And you really do have to have thick skin to be
Yes.
the YouTuber, especially on the trash talking side. So
You gotta laugh at it though,
yeah.
because at the end of the day, you always have well, you're watching the video,
Yeah.
so
But he admitted he was like I'm thin skinned. I can't, I don't like seeing all this trolling, so I can't take it. So, but
that's
so
fair.
that's what I think.
That's fair.
So we need a catcher. Long story short, we need a catcher. So we could either have
Okay.
you do that, or we
That's
could,
fine.
shuffle it around somewhere else.
I'll make that throw to second. Don't try
Yeah.
and steal on Rec Talk.
that.
You're gonna learn real quick.
Hell yeah. So that would be. We just got a 5-star recruit here.
5-star recruit.
Freaking Team Raj had one of their players was mysteriously attacked by a dog and had to go out, and Raj was like, "Oh yeah, I got my cousin. I'm gonna bring him in." Dude plays baseball professionally. He's a pro. He's freaking pro ringer. They bring this ringer in, and he hits a home run to seal the game, a walk-off home run to win. I mean, total.
That seems fair.
Yeah, not to mention they were playing with an extra person on the field at all times, and no one noticed. But
Wow.
I won't get into that.
That's kind of like getting that timeout Kirby did, huh?
Yeah. Yeah, so CJ says, I heard you didn't like the community anymore, so too much drama. Yeah, that makes sense. But, when some of the people text you that have been really cool and been your friends and are wondering how you've been, at least answer,
Yeah, just respond and say, "Hey, man, I don't want to do it anymore. Appreciate it." Like, okay, glad you're okay.
But anyway, sorry, I get freaking off season is the slob season, as far as I'm concerned. So it gives us something to look forward to. And hell yeah, I want you to freaking come.
Dude,
It's
I'm
gonna be so much
excited.
fun. It's
John
gonna be so
Withers,
much
first
fun.
one since Reggie. First who?
What?
I don't know who you're talking about.
What happened?
First one since Reggie.
I don't know what that means.
I'm assuming Reggie Ball, who was a fantastic quarterback. Anyways, let me think. What else is going on with Tech? I guess we could just recap the hires. So obviously, Brent Key. Big one in Buster Faulkner, who we've been talking about, that for some reason is still coaching for our rival.
Yeah, we've exhausted that one.
Norval McKenzie, running backs
Running
coach.
backs.
Jeep Wade, offensive line. And then, Josh Crawford, I believe, is our wide receivers coach, who is kind of an up-and-coming guy out of Western Kentucky. In the video I made, I said Western Carolina because Jeff Collins lives rent-free in my head. That's where he went to school. And someone on my Discord posted some like breakdowns of his kind of scheme and stuff, and I think there's a lot of things to be excited about too. It's a lot of spacing stuff, kind of basketball type passing.
I like it, and they've had some prolific offenses there at Western Kentucky, and that Bailey Zappi went there and had like this amazing record season of touchdowns and everything. You can't do that with crappy wide receivers. So,
well, luckily we've got I think a pretty solid class of wide receivers coming in with Dobson, Singleton Jr., Zion Taylor,
and the guys on our roster already, I'm liking Leo Blackburn, Rutherford.
Yes. Dude, Leo, we're all just waiting for Leo to break
We're
out.
totally freaking stoked on Leo. I'm stoked on him.
I mean, he's like 6'5", kind of probably upper 4.4 kind of speed, like a lot of talent.
So I'm wondering. Well, there's two positions that I haven't. I've noticed we haven't made hires at, which is tight ends, which I'm assuming maybe Buster Faulkner might take over. So that's great. Our tight end position is just abysmal. It's nothing. There's nothing there.
Because we got that kid out of Syracuse that was supposed to be pretty decent.
Oh my God.
What was his name?
Luke Benson.
That's what I thought. We had a running back named Benson. I thought I was making some
complete bust. I mean, there were games where he went out there and literally like, I mean, I'm not trying to dunk on anybody here, but I mean,
no, but you got to play better. I mean, if you're not gonna catch, you at least got to make blocks.
And I would see him miss blocks and drop passes, and it's literally like hurting us to have him out there more than it is helping.
Yeah. So hopefully Buster could help with that. I would assume there's no way that Winky's not the quarterback's coach, right?
Yeah. It's just the thing is you gotta have some players there, and it's like we haven't ever had that position before. Well, not ever before, but
in a long time.
We had no tight ends on the roster whenever Jeff Collins took over, so that position is having to be built from the ground up. So it's just something that I'm not really expecting a lot out of, and it kind of irritates me when I see us try to like throw to them because they always drop them, and they never have a lot of yards, and it's just like I don't know, it just never. But you gotta have better players there. But I mean, who's gonna want to come to play tight end at Georgia Tech when we
a lot of improvement to be had.
So, I don't know. So
what's the other position?
Special teams coordinator.
That's true.
So
we haven't heard.
I'm assuming Jason Seymour is going to be keeping that job, which he was linebacker and special teams coordinator. Coach
I believe
Woody.
He's linebacker coach of the year, I believe.
Is he really?
Sports Illustrated put an article out. I don't know if it's ACC linebackers coach of the year, but he won an award for his position coaching.
Well, he ought to. He had the best damn linebacker duo in the country.
Yeah, probably a big reason. He's probably a big reason we're able to get Braylon Oliver and Andre White. Yeah, they looked at what we did with Ely and Thomas, and we're like, hey, man, that's how I want to play.
Oh, yeah. And, I mean, if they get drafted, that's going to help. Hopefully, and hopefully Keon White, get him drafted pretty high, get some momentum going. I mean, that's what they look at. We want to get these players drafted.
Yeah.
And not have them freaking transfer out. Okay. So that's what we're going to be needing to do. Which I don't know if it's possible at all to avoid transfers these days. It seems like players transfer just to transfer.
That might be something good to talk about. And I've made a video on it, but do you have, it's good off-season talk. Like, do you have any changes do you think need to be made to this transfer portal and kind of how like NIL and how all of this is being done? Because right now it's kind of a free-for-all, and there's all these coaches accusing other coaches. Jimbo just came out right and it's ridiculous. It's ridiculous.
I imagine it's frustrating. Can you imagine being a Texas A&M fan? They pull in the freaking world's best class, and they all transfer out after the next season.
They pull a
And
bus
you
up,
spent-
and every player gets in it.
Spent all that money on nothing. $35 million recruiting class on nothing. They're all gone now.
Yeah,
I would be distraught if I was a Texas A&M fan. I would be distraught. But
yeah, because you got to think they're not going to be a whole lot better next year if something major
Well,
changes. I don't
it
know.
depends. Yeah, it depends. Like, will he finally realize he needs to hire an offensive coordinator and let him take the reins? Sometimes these offensive coaches that are considered great offensive minds or whatever, they worry me. Like, that was the thing with Gus Malzahn. Like, Gus Malzahn, it's the same thing that happened at Auburn. They never adapt, and they never, change. They never want to give up the reins to their offense. Like, what would it? Gus Malzahn would have a bad year, fires offensive coordinators, a scapegoat, hire a new guy,
Yeah,
and that was the cycle. So that was kind of, for me, that was kind of like when we were looking at new coaches as far
Right.
as Gus Malzahn, I was like, but
were we ever looking at Gus?
a few people threw his name around. I mean, he's there, but I don't know. I don't know. I wouldn't have minded it. I mean, at the time, I was just thinking, like, who could, there's not much worse we could do than Joe Collins.
No, and honestly, he at times at Auburn, he was like a modern day Paul Johnson, where he ran a lot of triple option concepts.
Yeah,
with
it's like
what
the
he
read
did.
option that he runs.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but they would even motion a receiver out in the same way we would the B back, and they would be a pitch sometimes.
But let me tell you, watching UCF this year, dude, man, they haven't been good these past couple years under him. They've won however many games, but it's like every big game this year, I faded UCF after watching them play Georgia Tech, and it worked every time. They didn't beat Duke, they didn't beat Tulane or whatever. They lost to Tulane twice, I think it was.
Did they? Oh yeah, they lost them in the regular season and
Yeah.
then in the title game.
I faded them every time, and it worked every time. So I don't know. I don't know. Not impressed with Gus at freaking UCF.
Yeah,
But I don't know. We're getting off on a tangent. I forgot what we were even talking about.
we're talking about. Do you think there's what changes need to be made to the transfer portal and NIL?
When they first came out with NIL, I was hoping that it would fix bowl opt-outs because if they've got skin like that, they're going to want to make their money and not miss out on that. I was hoping that there would be NIL deals that could be structured in which you want to get paid, you're going to have to play in the bowl game. So I was hoping that would be a thing. Hasn't happened yet. I'm not saying it couldn't, but
I don't think there's any contingency on the money. It's just you come, you get it, and then
you talk about fixing NIL, fixing transfer portal and everything. What needs to be fixed first of all over anything is, well, there needs to be some kind of power structure, because who's going to be making these changes? NCAA is everybody knows they're a figurehead. They have no power.
Did you say they just hired a new head of the NCAA?
Yeah, it's like some joker that doesn't know a thing about sports.
He's a
So
governor
it's
of
like-
Massachusetts.
Yeah, governor of Massachusetts. Yeah, like what?
A politician will fix this political
Freaking
mess.
politician. They just are just a complete clown show. So when you're talking about how to fix this and that problem in college football, you need to really start at the top. But the NIL, the way NIL was handled from the beginning, where there's just no rules, and that's not good. So you can't just have no rules. I don't know, man. it's a really complicated, hairy mess, and a lot of people have a lot of ideas. I just think it's got to change with the NCAA first.
I think you're absolutely right, though, because probably what the NCAA is afraid of is if they drop the hammer on one of the big boys, they'll break off and do their own thing. Like the SEC
Right.
will just
Yep.
leave.
Like Greg Sankey, the SEC commissioner, talking about making their own playoffs. Like, really? Okay.
I didn't even hear he said that. That's pretty crappy,
Yeah.
though. Like,
Off season, so they were something about wanting to some about expansion. Somebody voted no, and he didn't like that, so they were talking about, well, we'll make our own playoffs, which probably was a bluff, but
yeah,
you know.
because their
Yeah.
TV deals are tied into
And
playing.
they're talking about super conference and all this, like what college football could be headed towards, where the players, the players don't even go to school, like they're not student athletes, and you have a split between.
It's one way to do it, but
That's what it looks like literally a semi-pro team, where you
Yeah.
have the team that you have the football team that uses the school's logo and stadium and everything, but they're completely separate from the they're not student athletes. They don't go to school, that's not college football.
no.
That's like a semi-pro league, which I don't think anybody would want that, but
No.
then
I
you'd have
wouldn't.
half the schools that don't want to do that, which I imagine Tech would be in, and then you have the schools that would do that. Your Alabama's, Ohio State, Clemson, those schools like that. There's a lot of ways that this could go. It's really whenever I don't know if there's something wrong with me, but whenever I think about it, it just like there's all the possibilities in my head bouncing around. I'm like,
Yeah.
I can't even think straight.
It's like overwhelming.
It's like trying to untangle a huge mess. I don't know. I just get to thinking about all that, so I don't think there's really any easy way. But
No, I think there's some straightforward things they could do. But to your point, it would require the NCAA to actually regulate it. Like,
yeah,
I talked about having an escrow account for all NIL deals that is held by the NCAA.
or a cap, a salary cap. Like,
Yeah, I
players
think you
can
could
only
do
make
both.
players can only make this much, and that way, that's what I thought of. That way, you don't see freaking UNC taking Nick McCollum from us because they paid him way more.
Yeah.
If the players all make the same amount,
Or the
they-
teams pay the same amount.
if the teams all pay the same amount, then there's no reason to monetarily to pick one school over the other.
Yeah.
There's that I thought of, and then I've heard a couple suggest maybe God, I forgot. What was it?
So you had a cap. Was it with NIL?
Oh, the TV deals from the conferences. The schools make a lot of money from the Big Ten schools are making like $100 million or something. They're saying
Yeah, per school.
spread that out to the players, and that'll keep them. That'll keep them in it.
Or give them a cut of the gate too. Give the
Yeah.
team a cut of the gate
Yeah.
that goes to the players.
Yeah, there's a lot that you could do. Yeah.
But again, you get back in the same thing we were in, where you got to prevent people from circumventing that and directly paying. And I don't know that that'll happen.
Well, that's when you get into. But then at least there's punishment. Right now, there's no punishment for anything because there's no rules.
It's true.
So, you got to have some rules. You got to have like a Roger Goodell in college that'll explain why, and it needs to be consistent. And it's just unbelievable that you have a huge money business like this that is being mismanaged the way it is,
Horribly.
and it's turning a lot of people off to the sport. And it's not running me off or anything like that, but I'm afraid that college football is going to become something unrecognizable here in the future.
Well, I'll tell you, I'm sure that someone from the NCAA is watching. I'm confident of that.
Watching this show,
Yeah. There's a
Oh, for
100%
sure.
likelihood of
For
that.
sure.
And I will leave my post as Rec Talk to be the NCAA commissioner. All right, I'll campaign right now.
I would not leave my post as Sea Dog, but I'll yell about it on the internet if that's what you want to do. I'll
First order of business: all of UNC's championships they won in that 10-year span are revoked.
let's do UGA while you're at it.
UGA. I can't even get into all the things that is going to need to happen with them, but
The NCAA should probably be disbanded. And it needs to be the conferences that get together and appoint somebody.
it's
You know
happened
what I mean?
before.
Commissioner of college football. It needs to be we need something like that.
Because it used to be like the IBAA, and then they disbanded
Right.
because players were dying, and colleges didn't want to like pay their funeral medical bills and stuff.
God, dude.
Yeah, I mean, there's like 20 court cases on this, and that's why this is what people forget. This is why the NCAA exists, is to protect players and manage this stuff. They don't do that anymore, though.
Right. Yeah.
Let's look through the comments.
Yeah, I was reading the comments too. They will never punish top 10 programs. You may be right.
I don't know. Never's a long time.
Yeah. I don't know. It is all about the money. All about the money.
It is. It is. Which is why we're hunting for advertisers currently.
For sponsorships.
Yeah. I'll do an ad read
I'll
every
totally do
video.
one. Hell yeah. I'll totally do
Just
one.
like Bill Burr, too. I'll totally mess it up and make him sound dumb. Sea-Dog's cat needs attention. I don't know.
Yeah, he came to visit me a minute ago. He needs
Have I contacted Section 103? I reached out because they didn't have my size in Felice Bobby Dodd sweatshirts, but I'm never going to impose. And I said I'd wear it on the show. I didn't say I would. They didn't say they would pay me, though.
Yeah.
Still waiting to hear from Institutionalized Takes. They've ghosted me for 4 years straight now.
I know. I haven't heard from them either. Man.
Didn't
I
you
guess you got to be what?
Didn't you have Veach on your show? Patience?
No, I never have had Patience on here. I don't think.
Okay.
Did I? No, I don't think I did.
I must have
think
saw
she was
something else.
I think she was supposed to. But at the last minute, she wasn't able to. So,
Okay.
but yeah, definitely. It was in the title of a video one time.
Affiliate
the only
link.
tech fan besides you I've had is Luke Cowart, the guy that does the Georgia Tech Paint account on Twitter.
Oh, okay.
Mm-hmm.
I think I'm
That's
going to
the
reach
only-
out to Key.
I
Just make him say no, you know?
messaged him on Twitter last year when he was the O-line coach.
Did he
He
respond?
posted like a Salisbury steak burger on thing, and he said DM me for the recipe, and so I did, and he never responded.
What
Here, I
a
can pull it
boss!
up.
What a boss move, dude.
I know, man. He says freaking DM me for the recipe, and I said, "You think I could get that recipe, coach?" He never responded, and then I texted him back after he got the job. I said, "Happy for you that you got the job, coach. However, I'm still going to need that recipe." And he still didn't respond. So I don't know. I don't know what his problem is.
Dude, it must be something super secret, and he realized when the recipe holder he asked, it's like, nah, this is too powerful to be in the wild.
Yeah, I mean, it looks pretty good. It looks like something an O lineman would eat. So.
Oh dang! Nerd Stop saying we should get Raid Shadow Legends.
Oh man, the Raycons, or yeah.
Let me tell you something. You put these Raycons on, you're gonna hear things like you
This
never
is brought
heard
to you by
before.
Squarespace.
Oh, there was one ad read people were doing. It was a scam. It was that you get a little plaque that says you own land in Ireland, and it turns out it was a total scam.
Really? Dang.
I'd still read it though today,
Yeah.
100%. they paid me.
If you're a lord, it makes you into a lord, right?
Yeah, you could like put on your credit card Lord Sea Dog.
My dad has that, dude.
Oh man.
My dad is a lord in Ireland. So are you telling me he's not actually a lord?
Well, the whole point was they bought like a square foot of land in
Right.
Ireland. They never did that though.
They didn't. Wow.
No, they're actually about to engage a class action lawsuit, I believe.
Wow.
Yeah. One of the guys I watched had to come on and apologize. Like, I did not know.
That's funny. That's pretty funny.
Man, Coach Key don't give a F about Sea Dog. I don't know. I think it's the recipe, man. He didn't want
He'll
to
respond to me one day.
Can I just I'm just going to show up on campus and I don't know where you go.
Mhm.
Well, actually, when I was at Tech, I crossed paths with Paul Johnson. He was walking one way and we crossed on the sidewalk going up the practice facility.
Oh, really?
Yeah. And
That's awesome.
I didn't say nothing, though. He looked really
yeah.
angry, as he most often always did.
Right. I'm like, Coach, hey, what's
Just-
up, man?
Just throw a hug on him.
You're gonna whoop their ass today, right? Yeah. I got a couple of things signed from him. I think I showed you.
Oh, yeah, football from Paul.
Yeah, football and a helmet. Yeah.
Be interesting to get him on staff on some level, I think. I don't know.
Oh, Paul Johnson.
Yeah.
I think he's golfing. He's enjoying retirement.
Well, he moved back to North Carolina,
Yeah.
which I don't know why. Who cares about North
Air
Carolina?
Stop says you should get a media pass. Apparently, Bryce Coon was saying that it's really hard to get one. They're really stingy with them.
Yeah.
Um,
You have to
You
have
have to
media
have-
credentials.
yeah. So, pretty tough.
I could just apply to UGA and probably get a journalism degree. They'll probably just hand me one.
Yeah. But he was even saying like because he has one. He has the degree, but he's going to lose his credentials now that he's not working for 247 anymore, which for 247 and now that but I think you have to be with one of those media outlets to get one.
So you
I
can't
don't
just
think
be
you can-
freelance and
I
but
don't
have
think
a.
so.
That's so.
Or he was
dumb,
saying
dude.
it would be like a huge like issue. I don't know. You have to ask him about it, but he did mention that whenever he's going to be just like us. He's not going to have any insider
Dude, that
info.
stinks because what I would have done is we'd have like this set up and have him bring an iPad in, and it looks like he's asking the question. Then he just holds the iPad up with like a speaker, and we get to ask the question.
Yeah.
That would have been our way in. Now we got to
Right.
reach out to Kelly Quinlan, I guess.
Oh yeah, Kelly Quinlan. Yeah, that's tough. I don't know. I had the opportunity. These guys I talked to have credentials at Kennesaw State, and then when they played Georgia Tech, they were able to get in the press box. But I didn't go because I didn't want to. I mean, it sounded like cool, but I don't know. I was nervous. I was like, "Am I actually going to be able to go in the?" I probably wouldn't. I probably wouldn't like be able to contain myself. You know what I mean?
You just start freaking out.
Yeah, because you're supposed to be quiet. Like when that was the game when Jordan Dominic like got the sack and ran it back for a touchdown. Like he fumbled it and he ran it back for a touchdown. Like you expect me to sit there during that and be like, "Oh, wow, what a play!" Yeah, no. Oh my God!
Oh, you can't like get. By the way, Orange Crush. It just tastes better. I would have done it though. They would have just kicked me out. That'd been the last time I was allowed up there. but-
Right. I don't know. I wasn't sure if it was. I wasn't sure or not. But I don't know. I probably should have. Probably should have at least tried.
Ascending Days on. Yeah,
He's around, isn't he?
yeah. I think we're Facebook friends. Not sure.
Really? That's cool.
Yeah, which means we're friends in real life. That's how that works.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah. Well, we've come up to hour 25.
Yeah.
Trying to think. I guess before we go, if anyone has any questions for me or Sea Dog, go ahead and post that in the chat. We'll be looking, Chase Lane too. Yes, Chase Lane is coming and was the best recruiter on our staff for a minute.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, Ken Segura maybe. He's with AJC, right?
Mm-hmm.
Let's see here. Oh, what you got, dude?
Check this out. Can you see it?
How did you do that, dude?
I didn't do it. So I literally opened up Facebook and it was like the first thing that came up. Somebody on the Georgia Tech Facebook group posted it. Isn't that amazing? Let me get out of the way.
Dude, I know a guy that makes T-shirts professionally. Just send me that. I'm gonna get some T-shirts made.
Okay.
And we're gonna
You
wear
know
them.
a guy that does that? Because I've been wanting to get Sea Dog shirts.
Actually, in Athens, I do. Yeah,
Oh,
from when I
Athens.
lived up
Oh,
there.
God.
Yeah.
Oh, Lord. That is awesome.
What should the punishment? Wait, what should be the punishment to teams trying to poach players?
Same punishment as always, you know. Fine,
Sanctions.
goal ban, you know.
Yeah, you get scholarships limited.
Yeah.
Basically, what happened to Tennessee?
Right. Which actually didn't. Did they get punished? I don't
They
remember.
they got scholarships limited, I believe. They were.
okay.
What do you get? 85 or 80?
Yeah.
I'm trying to remember.
Yeah. This is awesome.
Is that a Yellow Jacket Horn Frog combo? It is.
It
And it is
is.
beautiful.
It is. I mean, yeah.
Yeah, send that to me, dude. If I can get some T-shirts made, when is the national title game? A week? Monday
It's actually
week?
next Monday,
Monday week. I think I might can
ninth.
manage that.
the 9th. The thing is, after that, it's completely useless. Like, how would you explain that?
Dude, money ain't nothing to me.
What if they, you know, like, what if they lost? Like, I would not be like,
That's true. I did not
Yeah.
think this through at all.
yeah, I'd be like, I mean, this is useless.
I would just wear it. That would be the shirt I wear on the show, and people would be confused. Like, what is
Yeah.
that? I'd be like, don't worry about it, man.
Like, imagine having it. I mean,
This is
don't
what
know.
I spend my money on.
It's a dish rag after that. I don't know. I'll send
Yeah.
it to you though.
It'd be good for one stream, though.
Right.
I think I could
Well,
get
shit,
two.
I'll send you some. If you get one made, make me one too.
Oh, for sure. For sure.
I'll,
Do you smoke cigars?
no. I could probably get like a pepperoni or something though, and like light it on fire.
Do you want to start?
No.
Okay. That's fair enough.
I'll get
Someone's,
a pepperoni and light it on fire.
well, like Trailer
That
Park
work?
Boys?
Yeah. Would that work?
Yeah.
It would kind of look like I'm smoking a cigar.
Dude, we got the Winstons, too, over here. Got the Churchills. Let's see. C-Dog, do you have anything coming up you got going on? Anything you need to advertise?
I'm gonna be Horn Frog Dog. I'm gonna be Sea Frog coming up here. That's what I'm gonna be all about this next week.
You're streaming?
I'm streaming the game for sure. The national championship, yeah, I'm streaming that for sure.
Well, if I have an invite, I will be available.
Oh, you want to come?
Yeah.
I hate that it's on a Monday, dude.
Yeah.
But my boss is a Georgia fan, so hopefully I can talk him into like us not working or coming in late Monday morning. Because I had to last year on the national championship, freaking Georgia won, and I had to go into work the next day, tired as hell. It was a long drive, and I was like, it was like one of the worst days ever.
Dang, dude. You would think if he's a Georgia fan, it'd be like 11 o'clock call in or something.
So yeah, he's probably gonna want to watch the. He's probably gonna watch that and be tired the next day too. So I'll see. I'm gonna ask him if we can come in late.
All right, dude. I'm gonna be jacked.
And yeah, you can come over for sure. That'll be fun.
Have they put a line out yet?
You need to get. I only have the one TCU hat.
I'll get another one.
That's a good question.
Let me go on one thing. That's one thing I will never do. Gambling is dumb. Never do it. But
Really?
yeah.
I like gambling. I don't gamble too much. I gamble like $5 or $10.
That's fine, but there are a lot of people that like gamble substantial parts of their check.
Yeah, no, that's dumb. That's dumb.
And I've worked with them before.
You know, not something like 99% of gamblers quit right before they hit it big.
You know that
Did you know that?
85% of statistics are made up? How would anyone know that, by the way? How would you know that? You'd have to hit big to know the low point before. You about had me
What's wrong with
convinced.
me? I got on my phone to do something, to send you something, or
You did
something.
send it to me. I think you sent me the horn
Not
frog.
that though. I was gonna do something else. What is wrong with me? Oh, I was checking the line on the game.
Oh, it's minus 13.5 for Georgia.
Kidding me?
Okay, so let's look at
hammering TCU.
money line. Is not that big. I'm surprised with that line though. It's plus 400 for TCU. Over under 62.5. So let's see. Would you take? So who do you take in the points? Does Georgia cover 13.5?
All right, look. There's one thing you gotta know. I'm not ever gonna give you a real answer. Like, obviously, TCU is gonna win outright by 100.
Oh yeah, you'd always take
You
the
know-
money
you
line
know
against
this.
Georgia.
I don't think you can.
Okay, I can
If
speak
you want
to
a
it then.
serious answer, yeah. You're
I
gonna
can
have to
speak
get
to it.
yourself, 'cause that's not gonna get it from me.
13.5 is a lot of points to cover against a team that could score a lot of points. And I'm kind of, I don't know, this over-under, you're saying they're both going to be around 30. I would probably, and never gamble, I would take TCU, lay the points.
Points.
Over-under is tougher. I would probably take the over. Because I think Georgia's secondary is suspect at times. When Georgia has struggled, it's been when their secondary gets lit. As far as the money line, C-Dog knows what to do with that.
So the line, yeah, the line really wants you to take Georgia at 13.5.
Has Georgia covered all year? Yeah, they have.
Yeah.
Problem with Georgia covered is they've been like 30, 40-point favorites, and you're an idiot if you ever take them in the points on that.
Yeah.
Ask Akron or
I
whoever.
usually make good money, some good bets, betting on them not to cover.
Yeah. Big lines are just tough to cover.
Yeah. Yeah. Especially the way Georgia, they'll like to get up like 2 scores and then just run the clock out. That's what they like to do.
Yeah. Yeah. Man, that surprises me. If I was setting the line, I'd probably set it at 10 and a half. 13 and a half is a lot.
Yeah, it is. They really want you to. I mean, that's just under 2 touchdowns, so they probably.
I would
don't
think
know.
it moves, though, because it moved a lot with Tennessee and Clemson, like 4 hours for the game or
It moved a
so.
lot with Georgia too. Everybody's betting on Tennessee, and freaking Georgia won.
Oh, Georgia when they played Tennessee?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So hopefully we see a lot of movement on Georgia. You know what they say, fade the public, right? So
Okay.
hopefully everybody's betting on Georgia, and then you can fade them and take TCU.
This is the last thing I'll say about sports betting, though. If you look at people that actually do make money sports betting, it has nothing to do with who's playing, what teams are playing, or anything. It has everything to do with a line being set bad, and they just look for that. So, if you're a math genius, get on it. Like me, that's how I make my money. That's why I tell you not
Yeah.
to.
Yeah. For sure.
Well, all right, man. I guess we'll wrap it up on that. Everyone, I appreciate you watching the show. We're going to do this every other week, Sundays at 8 p.m. And then every other week out of phase, I do the Rec Talk live show. So appreciate y'all for coming in. Y'all have a good one.